In this video, I'm going to show you how to apply bronzer, blush and highlight the correct way. Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nina Ubhi, I'm a makeup artist and a beauty entrepreneur. Okay, let's just very quickly address a couple of things I know you've probably noticed. Number one, I do not wear my makeup this way. This is the wrong way, which I'm going to go into a bit later. This is how I wear my makeup. Number two, my brows. I know they are super dark right now. Let's just ignore them. I've just had them nano bladed and basically for the first couple of weeks, they're pretty dark and then they're going to lighten up. Hopefully they will. That's what they told me. They're going to lighten up. So let's just ignore all of that and move on. This is the place you're going to find all the content that I create on skincare, makeup, everything beauty related, and also a few vlogs to give you an insight into what I get to do when I'm not in the studio, in front of the client or in front of my laptop. If there's anything specific you guys want me to create, then let me know in the comments below. If you like my video, then press that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also hit that notification bell button so that you're notified each time I send out a new video. Let's get straight into the tutorial. And a quick note, every product that I've used in this tutorial, I've listed in the description box below. It's gonna make it much easier for you guys if you wanna buy any of them. All you need to do is click on the links. Let's start with the bronzer application first. I'm going to show you the wrong way of applying it, which I see a lot of people applying bronzer in this way. But I'm also then going to show you on one side of my face the correct way of applying bronzer. So I'm going to start with using the Fenty Sunstalker bronzer in Private Island. It's one of my go-to bronzers for two reasons. One, because it gives me that really nice warmth to my face, but at the same time it's a matte bronzer, which I much prefer over kind of shimmery bronzers. So I'm applying a decent amount to the brush and I'm using the Hourglass dual-ended powder brush, and I'm going to show you on one side of my face now how not to apply bronzer. Now whenever I see people applying bronzer, I see them kind of like swirling all over the place and they'll kind of like start in the middle, and I can't even begin to tell you what this does to me when I see it happening. But yeah. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever applied bronzer in this way, so this is going to be really interesting to see what I actually look like with bronzer plastered all over my face. So I see them kind of like going like this and then just kind of, you know, just going everywhere really. I don't feel like there's any kind of set routine with this. I guess a lot of people, a lot of people want to kind of like bronze in all the areas that they feel that the sun kind of hits them, which is understandable, I get it, but there is a correct way of doing it to really kind of just make you look better. I just feel very patchy on this side. Okay, I can't stop looking at myself because it looks awful. But anyway, let's move on to the correct way of applying bronzer. So the correct way of applying bronzer is all about your placement. So we're going to start from the kind of top part of the ear and we're going to gradually bring it in. And what we're doing is we're keeping the bulk amount of the product in this area and we want it to gradually fade out as we go in. So you can see how we're starting from here. We're slowly working our way in. Now when you're going inwards, what you want to make sure is you're kind of going, the direction you're going in is in between your nose and your lips. So you don't want to go any further down, you don't want to go too far up. So you're just kind of creating that really nice cheekbone area there. So you can see how we've got that really nice definition there. Now bear in mind, everything I'm showing you today, the bronzer, blush, and the highlight, they complement each other so well. So it looks great if you use them all together, especially in this correct technique. But if you don't necessarily use blush or you don't necessarily use highlight, you can just take out the bits that suit you and use them. Okay, so I think that's about it. And I want to now go beneath the jawline area. Now this is just going to help to add that extra bit of shadow there, which creates more depth. So we're just applying it underneath. You don't want to go on top of the jawline, you want to go right under, because what we're doing like I said, we're just creating that shadow, and that just gives you a sharper jawline. Now, I personally like to square off my jaw here, but that's completely down to your preference. So I think that's about it there. Now, another thing I want to do with this is I just want to kind of slim down my kind of forehead area on the sides, because I feel that I have a slightly round face. So I'm just going to kind of go into the hairline. Now, by going into the hairline, I'm kind of creating that shadow, and it just gives the illusion of a slightly slimmer face. So I'm just going right there. I think that's about enough. Now, another thing I love using bronzer for is just, again, to help give that illusion of a more lifted face. So we're going to I'm squeezing the brush, so I'm changing the shape of the brush. It's a dome round shaped brush. I'm squeezing it with my fingers here, and you can see how that's just kind of like really thinned out the brush. And I'm just going to kind of lift this area here. So I'm taking it into the hairline. It's just beneath the tail of the brow. And that's kind of like going to help to lift the area. But again, like I said, everything that I'm applying today on the correct side is going to help to complement one another. Now I'm also going to show you how you can use your bronzer to contour your nose. It's a little bit difficult for me to show you the incorrect way to do it and the correct way, because there's only so much of my nose that I have to work with. So I'm just going to show you the correct way on my nose now. So we're going to use the Fenty 200 brush. It's an eyeshadow brush, but the size and shape of it is perfect for the nose area. So we're going to use the tip of the brush. I've already dipped it into the bronzer. Now I'm going to keep my hand still, and I'm only moving my fingers. Now that can really help you if you have an unsteady hand. So just keep your hand still, or as still as you can, and then just use your fingers to kind of go up and down along the nose area so that you get that nice kind of even finish. And I'm just doing the nose here, so you can see I'm just kind of shaping the nostril area here. Same thing on this side. So we're just keeping that width the same all the way down. And now that we've done that, we're just going to drag it down on the sides just a little. Now we're going to move on to blush, and I'm using the MAC blush in Peaches. It's a matte shade, and it's probably one of my favourite blushes. I've been using it for years now. It just gives you that really nice subtle hint of peach and a little bit of pink without it being overly in your face. Now the brush I'm using is the Oldest brush in 011. I just like the shape of it, and I feel like it's a decent size and it's just perfect for blush. Right, so this is the wrong way of applying blush. You're going to go right onto the apples of the cheek. I've seen so many people do it here, and you know what? I just feel like it just doesn't look good. I feel like it does if it's like a liquid blush and you've done it in a very subtle way. But when you're just going all in like this, it doesn't really do anything. So yeah, that's just not working for me. It's not. Okay, let's just keep going. So I see people applying it just basically along the cheek area. So that to me is not the right place to apply it. Now I'm going to show you the correct way of applying it. So I've applied the blush to my brush. Now when you do that, just make sure you kind of take the excess off on the back of the hand, and what that does is it just ensures that you're not going to get that bulk amount of colour onto your cheek area, and it's going to be that really nice kind of subtle transparent hint of blush. Now we're also going to start to apply this just above the area that we've bronzed and sculpted. So what I want to do is just kind of apply it here. You're not going too high, you're kind of just above the area that we've bronzed. And it's going to kind of like melt into the edges of the bronzer. You'll be surprised at the end when you see how all three products help to kind of, will just help each other lift the facial area, and it's all down to the placement. So you can see that we've got that really nice kind of colour on the cheek area. It's not overly in your face, and it's definitely not kind of in the centre. It's kind of from the outside part of the face, and it slowly kind of comes in. And that's what you want. You don't want it to be bang in the centre of the face. You want it to kind of slowly melt into the centre of the face. Now I've seen a lot of people like to apply blush over their nose. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, you can go ahead and apply it to the center a little bit. I think a little bit on the sides will be nice, but keep it very minimal. Like, anything too much, it's just going to look like you have a red nose. Now let's move on to highlight. So I'm going to show you two different styles of highlight. So I'm going to show you a matte highlight, and I'm going to show you your traditional shimmery highlight. Now, the reason I'm showing you both is because it's amazing what both of them can do together, but I also want you guys to see that you don't have to always use a shimmery highlight. For example, if you have a lot of texture on your skin and you don't feel comfortable with wearing that, then you can opt for a matte highlight because it does a similar thing. They both help to enhance key features on your face. One is a little bit more subtle than the other. So I'm going to start with showing you how to apply the shimmery highlight in the wrong way. I'm using the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in Kitten. It's one of my favourite highlighters because I feel like it melts into the skin. I'm using the 134 Zoeva brush. It is the perfect size and fluffiness for highlight application. So I'm going to start applying this. I've seen this in just wrong areas. When I'm looking at someone and they have highlighter on, I want to see that kind of nice finish on their skin. I want it to look, you know, just key areas. I don't want to see my reflection in their skin. And oh my god, this is just I mean that is just OTT, right? And I've seen it applied in, you know, I've just seen it applied everywhere. Like, I've seen it on the forehead, because people are trying to get that kind of really glowy, dewy finish. So, you know, they think highlight is going to do it, but in all the wrong places, it's really not going to do it. I've seen it on the chin. Oh dear, let's just please leave this now and move on to the correct way. Let's move on to applying highlighter in the correct way. Now, as I said, I have texture on my skin, same as most people. I have texture, I have slight acne scarring, I have open pores. Those are the areas that I don't really want to enhance. So when it comes to applying your highlight, I like to apply it just on this area here, so that, you know, when my face kind of moves, when the light hits that little area, it just gives that really nice kind of sparkle or shimmer. I don't want to be kind of reflecting too much light from all over my face. I just want little areas, just little key areas. So we're going to just apply it up here. Now what this also helps to do is it helps to lift the area as well, so it doesn't look so kind of flat and, well, wrong. So we're going to just apply it here. And my texture is mainly around this area anyway. I still do have texture here, but it's just not as bad. There you go. That helps to kind of lift the area as well. So that's the area there. I don't really want to apply it on my forehead. That is your preference, but my preference is I prefer it just in that one area. And then I'll apply a very small amount on the tip of my nose. I like to use a smaller brush for the tip of my nose. You can use any brush. I don't actually know what this brush is because I've had it for years. But I'm just applying it just on the tip here. I don't like to do a circle. I've seen people just like kind of go right in. I like to actually do just a line across, and that's it. Like, that is enough for me. I also like to go down the bridge of the nose, but not all the way down. Just literally touch it there a little bit. Sometimes I kind of just rub over it with my finger because I really don't want it to be OTT. Next, I'm going to show you the matte highlight. Now, I know a lot of people don't really use matte highlight, so I'm not going to go into the wrong way because I'm not too sure. I haven't really seen anyone use it the wrong way, to be honest. To be honest, I haven't actually seen people use it that much. I refer to it as a highlight because it does help to highlight key areas, but in a very subtle way. I'm using the 180 brush from Fenty, and it's just the right size for what I'm about to show you. Like I mentioned earlier, you can use this to help lift certain areas, and if you're one of those people who doesn't want to really use a shimmery highlight, then that's fine. You can opt for this, and that's why I wanted to show you this, because there's always an alternative. Now I'm going to start with the eye area, and if you remember earlier, when I applied my bronzer, I applied a small amount here to kind of give that lifted look. Now this is going to assist the bronzer in just taking that lifted look a little bit further. We're going to go and apply this right here, so just on the under eye area, and I'm going to go extra with it so you guys can really see, and then we're going to dust it off. So I'm really going to press that in, and I'm creating that lifted look. So right from here, doing a line all the way across, Now before I kind of dust any of this off, I'm going to just apply it in all the key areas so you guys can take a look, and then we'll dust it off so it's not as obvious. Next up, we're going to go here. We're going to just apply it here. We're going to keep pressing it in. I want you guys to really see the area that I'm trying to highlight and lift. This isn't going to stay like this, guys. I'm just going a bit OTT so you guys can see. They're both going in the same direction. Now the other place that I really want to help is this area here, because we slim down the nose with contouring. I'm going to just further give it that extra little pinch to slim it down even more. And again, this is down to personal preference. You don't have to. I just want you guys to know, because then you know, and it's up to you if you use it or not. We're going to get our setting brush from Real Techniques. This is one of my favorite brushes when it comes to just dusting things away. So we're going to start with this area here. And we're just kind of going over, dusting it away. And you can see that harsh finish is gone. And now it's just left that really nice transparent lift. So let's talk about the incorrect way of applying bronzer, blush and highlight. We're going to start with bronzer. Now as you can see, it's kind of just there. It's given me that kind of muddy finish to the skin, and that's partly because of placement. So I've seen a lot of people apply it in this way because for them bronzer is to bronze up the face, so they just go all in. Next up we've got blush. Now your blush, as you can see again, it's just kind of slap bang in the middle of the apples of the cheek. I'm not saying that is the complete wrong area to ever apply blush, because I've seen people apply it on the apples of the cheeks and it looks really nice sometimes because it's transparent and it's very subtle and it gives that nice like rosy glow to the cheeks. This is the way that I've seen some people apply it, where it's just OTT, it's in your face, doesn't do anything other than make you look like you've been punched and you're recovering from that, but it just doesn't look good. It's just too much colour and it's slap bang in the middle. It's not doing anything other than adding colour. Next we've got the highlight. Now this is just on another level for me. I mean, it's just showing you all the acne scarring. I'm trying to hide my pores, which I'm not saying everyone has to hide those. I personally don't want to show those. I do my best to apply my foundation in a certain way so that I don't have to deal, like, it's just covering that up. That's the whole point of foundation. It covers things up and gives you a nice kind of glow to the face. Let's move on to the correct way of applying bronze, blush and highlight. So we'll start with bronzer, and as you can see, it's very subtle. We can still give you that really nice sun-kissed look without having to kind of go all in, all over your face. We've applied it around this area here, which helps to kind of like give you that warmth, and it also helps to slim down the face a little bit. That's if you want to go for that. Then we've got the bronzer here. Now that also helps to kind of lift the area, and it helps to sculpt as well. There are so many things that you can do with this correct placement. It's not just about adding the colour. It's not about adding that highlight. It's about using all of those products to also give you that like nice lifted effect. So let's go on to blush. So the blush placement is everything. It's sitting just above the bronzer here. It's kind of melting into the bronzer, so it's not completely kind of together, but it's giving that nice pop of colour without it being OTT and in your face. Next up, we've got the highlight. We've got the shimmer highlight. Now I've applied it just here so that when I turn my face in a certain light, you're going to see that kind of really nice kind of hint of sparkle and shimmer. And that's what I want. I don't want it to be there all the time. I just want it so that it gives some dimension to the face. But that also helps to lift that area, which is really nice. Now we're going to move on to the matte highlight. Now this is one of my favorites because this I feel is really appealing to people who don't necessarily want to wear shimmer highlight. And I used to be one of those people because I had quite bad skin in the sense of acne, had a lot of congested areas, and I didn't feel comfortable. And I used to see all these pictures of people wearing highlight and shimmer highlight on their cheekbones, and the skin looked amazing. And that just made me feel worse because I thought, you know, am I just like the only person who can't wear shimmer highlight? Like everyone is wearing it, I want to wear it, it looks good on the skin, but my skin wasn't looking good. Now I put a lot of effort into clearing my skin up, but saying that, I also realised that my texture is always going to be there. And that's why I love the matte highlight, because on some days if my skin isn't great, then I opt for that instead of the shimmer highlight. And some days if I'm going for an all-out look for the evening, I'll go with both. So this is great if you don't want to use shimmer highlight, but it's also great if you want to use it with shimmer highlight. And there you have it. That's how you apply bronzer, blush and highlight. The wrong way and also the correct way. I really hope you guys have enjoyed and benefited from this tutorial. I'm creating so much more content, so if you guys want to see anything specific, please let me know in the comments below. As I mentioned earlier, if you like this video, press the thumbs up button, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell button so that you never miss a video. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.